Hey everyone, my name is Steven and welcome back to Storytime. Without wasting any further time, let's get into the first story of the day. Racist entitled mother makes a scene at fast food restaurant. I work at a fast food company currently expanding in California, but we do have locations around the country. To say our menu is simple would be an understatement. We have 5 combos available for our customers with 6 different items in total. One thing about our company is that we don't give out bulky plastic toys with our kids' meals. We give out activities like puzzles or little playing cards or sticker packets, which are heck to clean up when kids decide to stick them all over the booths. Stuff like that. Now, to set the scene, this happened quite a few months back around early November. I was working the late night shift on a Thursday and things were moving slowly in the dining room as it was nearly 11 p.m. I devoted myself to wiping down the cabinets under the counter and counting the minutes until I was free to go when I heard it. Ahem. Bracing myself for whatever I was about to face, I got to my feet and was met with a Karen, and she was definitely ticked. Hello, welcome to company. How can I help you today? I have been waiting in your drive-thru for nearly 10 minutes. I'm sorry, what? I hadn't really interacted with a customer for a good half hour and my brain was on autopilot. I said, I have been waiting in your drive-thru for nearly 10 minutes. Now, my restaurant has a policy to keep our drive-thru lines down. When someone orders an especially large order, we have them pull off to the side and we'll bring their order out to them so we can continue serving our other customers. Most people are understanding. This lady, however, was not. I'm sorry, ma'am, I can check on the order for you if you'd like. Well, hurry up, my kids are starving thanks to you people. I go to the kitchens and ask what's up. Redditors, this lady hadn't ordered 4 combos or 5. No. She'd ordered 12 combos, half of which were the largest combo we have available. So the chances of her food taking a while were pretty high. I still asked the kitchen crew how long it might take and they'd said they'd have it done in the next 5 minutes. I took a breath and walked back to the front counter. Well, they said they'll have it done in the next 5 minutes. What do you mean they'll have it done in the next 5 minutes? My children are hungry and they've waited long enough. OP, carefully. Ma'am, your order was large. It's going to take some time to prepare that much food. I'm terribly sorry for the inconvenience though. I can get you a free lemonade. My words didn't seem to register because the entitled mother's eyes had drifted to our drive-thru window. It's exposed to customers, where an employee was handing out a meal to a customer. Why are they getting food while my children aren't? Ma'am, those customers only ordered 1 combo. Well, they shouldn't get any food until they get mine. Give me your manager. I was honestly relieved at this point that she asked for a manager just so I wouldn't have her screeching directed at me. I headed to the back and came back with my manager. Hello ma'am, I'm manager. How can I help you tonight? Your awful employees are refusing to make my meal and my children are starving in my car and I demand my food and to be given a full refund for this immediately. I cannot issue a full refund as that is against company policy, but I can offer you a voucher for a free meal. As for your meal, I'll make sure it's the next one out of the kitchens. You'd better. So manager went back to the kitchens and left me with the entitled mother for a few minutes with her scowling at me while I nonchalantly tried to go about my business. Not 2 minutes later, manager came out with the multiple bags in tow. It took 3 employees to walk into her car for her and handed her a voucher for a free combo. She huffed, made a comment about calling corporate and stomped out of the restaurant. I thought it was over. I was wrong. Not even a minute after the 3 employees come back in, I heard the door to the restaurant open, heavy footfalls, and then, is this some kind of freaking joke? She threw the month's activities for the kids' meal, a 9-piece puzzle, on the counter. I'm sorry, what exactly? Your advertisement said the kids' meal included a toy. My son was promised a toy. Ma'am, our menu board for drive-thru says we offer an activity. Our company doesn't believe in buying chunky plastic toys for kids' meals. We'd rather include something more lightweight and… So you're saying there aren't any toys for the kids' meal? I can check in the back. I think we have a box of stickers left over from last month. Stickers? Get me your manager immediately. I started to run to the kitchen for my manager, but he must have heard the noise because he appeared as I was just past the front counter. Opie, go get yourself a soda. I'll handle this. I went to the drive-thru soda machine, which the crew are allowed to use for their own drinks, grab a cup of Coke, and observe the confrontation from a safe distance. Ma'am, what OP said is right. Our company doesn't believe in handing out bulky plastic toys. If you'd like, I can have OP go get your son a pack of stickers. Listen here, you useless. I am going to call corporate and get this location shut down. This restaurant is terrible and no wonder with the… insert various racial slurs, you hire. She went off at him for another minute or so before finally tiring herself out and stomping out of the door. With the all clear from my manager, I made my way up to the counter and looked overhead at the round dome camera that we have for security purposes. Something tells me she didn't see the sign outside the door that says she was being recorded. OP, you're free to go for the night. I'll send someone else up here. After that, I have some footage to email. The lady never came back. I'm assuming her corporate complaint got shredded when my manager sent the footage of her racist rant to the proper corporate authorities. That takes a lot of patience. If you were in the manager's shoes, what would you do if this person was saying these things to you? Let me know what you would do in the comments below. Entitled mother tries to steal my wedding money. Me and my fiance are getting married in December. That's if this stupid coronavirus is over with by then. We both set up a joint savings account, and with a great deal of working our butts off, we were able to save up about 10 grand for the wedding of our dreams and our honeymoon and anything else we'd need down the line. Now, before this whole virus lockdown, I agreed to have a cup of coffee with my horrible entitled mother, the one who was a violent alcoholic and an abuser and walked out on us 11 years ago. The only reason I agreed to meet her was because I promised my little sister I'd try and be nice and hear her out. Anyway, we spoke. Well, she spoke and I just glared at her and then we left. She then begged me for a lift back to the station and I begrudgingly agreed. I dropped her off and hoped I'd never see her again. Until today. We were sitting at home watching a movie when my phone rings. It's the bank. Hello, this is BE calling from Santander. Am I speaking to ME? Yes, hi, can I help you? I need to discuss account-sensitive information. Can you just confirm some security details for me? I answer his questions and then ask what is going on. Your fiance is sitting in our waiting area. She's requesting that we transfer 7 grand from your joint account into an account in a different name. Obviously, this raises some flags, and as per your security settings, any transfer over 1K requires joint authorization. Hang on. Sorry, I've just been told she's left the branch, although we still have the card. Let me stop you right there. We're coming in now. Whoever just tried to transfer money from my account wasn't my fiance, as she's sitting right next to me. I'll be there in 20 minutes. Yes, my local branch is still open during the outbreak. Okay, we do have to notify our fraud office of this incident. I'll see you soon. Me and fiance get to the branch and ask to speak with BE, and he walks over. Hello, we just spoke on the phone, didn't we? Yes, hopefully you can tell me how someone got access to our account. Certainly. First things first. If I may see some ID, I can give you your card back. Sure thing. We both hand over our driver's license. He looks at them and then hands it back along with the card. Fiance says, can you describe the woman who tried to gain access? I say, actually, you could do one better. I showed my warrant card and badge to BE. Police, would you mind getting your manager? I'd love to have a look at the CCTV from the time of the access. This is quite irregular, but I'll go get my manager. Ultimately, it's her choice should she show you the footage. Bank employee picks up a phone of a desk and places a call. A few minutes later, a smartly dressed woman in a burgundy suit walks out. She's holding a laptop. As she walks up, she extends her hand and I shake it. Officer, if I may check your ID, I can show you a CCTV still image, but I'm afraid actual video footage would need to be requested via head office. Fiance says, that's alright, isn't it? We just want to know who it is. I say, yeah, we do. I once again show my ID. The woman opens up her laptop and turns the screen around, and there in glorious 1080p is a photo of my mother leaning against the counter. Fiance says, wait, isn't that? I say, yeah, it is. I turn to bank manager and bank employee. Thank you very much. I know who the woman in this picture is. It's my mother. She's unwell. Please proceed with contacting the front office and I'll deal with her. Thank you so much for your time. We leave the branch and I take my phone out and dial my mom's number. She answers almost immediately. Hello son, what a lovely surprise. Cut the crap, I know you try to get into mine and fiance's bank account. So before I block your number and see to it that you get arrested for theft and bank fraud, I just wanted to say that I knew you would never change. You're still the same vile, horrible woman I grew up hating. I hope you burn in heck. Listen here, you ungrateful man, I deserve that money. It's a son's duty to help their mother out. You owe me. Plus, it's not like you need it. Now me, on the other hand, I happen to need... Click. I end the call and push the block number button. As it turns out, my mom took the card from the glove compartment of my car when I was dropping her off at the station, and yes, don't worry, both me and fiance will be filing charges against her. Also, another thing that bothered us, what the freak did she need 7,000 pounds for? What a terrible mother. It pains me to see a relationship dynamic between two people like that. I hope OP and their fiance get a lovely wedding. Give me $2,000. The entitled parent in this story is my own mother. I've been kinda hesitant to post about her, but I'm kind of tired of how she's treated me. This story is how I thought I was getting $5,000. I was stupid and naive and wasn't really taught how loans work, and my mom asked me for $2,000 of it. So I was going to college, commuting, so I was driving back and forth and working. I pulled out a loan to help pay for it and mistakenly thought I was getting $5,000. Please roast me for my naivety. I mistakenly told my mom and she asked if she could have $2,000 of it. I was happy to, at first. She didn't have a vehicle. She's gotten into wrecks in the past, and genuinely felt bad for her. We didn't have a vehicle all throughout high school, and for the most part, apart from that year my dad didn't have a job and stopped paying child support, we could have gotten one had we saved up all that time. But my mom is really bad with money. I love my mom and wanted to help out. I thought I would be selfish if I didn't. So I told my boss, really proud of myself for being so unselfish, and she basically told me I was an idiot. She told me that I needed to keep that money for myself and buy myself a vehicle or put it towards college. I thought about it and kind of realized she was right. My mom, although I do love her, would give my brother her money and then ask me to cover it. They would buy a bunch of weed and then ask me for money to pay bills. I didn't mind at first because I thought it was better to be unselfish. Finally, I got fed up with it and her, so I told her I was keeping the money. For the next month, she proceeded to harass me about how much she needed the money, threatened to kick me out, telling me to go live with my father, and guilt-tripped me constantly. She even got my brother in on it and he would verbally assault me with cuss words, insults, and even telling me I was a selfish idiot. It all came to a stop when one night after my brother started screaming idiot through my door and I tried to kill myself. I walked out, moved past him, and started walking toward the bridge near my house. I couldn't bring myself to it and I called the hotline. They talked me down. I still live with my mom and I'm trying to get out because it's hard to live with her sometimes. Any advice? And I'm sorry for the depressing post. Man, this story has so many layers to it and it's such a difficult topic to navigate. Obviously, there's a lot of manipulation and abuse going on here. What I'm hoping for OP is any opportunity where they can just get away from this situation altogether. That's what they really need. Old lady on an airplane gets angry with a very simple and easy request. Sorry if things are a little choppy, this happened when I was 11. I'm 17 now and the only other person there was my mom. She filled me in on the parts I had forgotten. Characters: me, my mom, not entitled, NF, nice flight attendant, NC, nice son, mid-30s, NCW, nice son's wife, also mid-30s, EP, entitled parent, late 60s, early 70s. So this all happened when I was coming back from Miami with my mom on an airplane. We were flying back to San Francisco after a wonderful vacation at Disney World. My mom had planned the trip a little late, so we were not sitting together on the flight, but she was across the aisle and 2 rows back from me so I could see her. Now to set the scene, I was sitting in the aisle because I like to stretch my legs out every once in a while, and this old woman who looked as pale as a ghost, and she honestly looked like a female version of the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. She was sitting in the window seat and her son and his wife were sitting in front of us. So anyone who has flown from Miami to San Francisco will know it's around 5 to 6 hours long. As soon as we take off, this woman takes off her shoes and puts her back to the wall and puts her legs on the middle seat. No one was there. Now this really disgusted me because her feet reeked, and to top it all off, she had put her feet against my leg, so the bottom of her feet were pressed against my thigh. I was silently freaking out because being an 11-year-old, I had absolutely zero idea what to do. I didn't want to ask her to move because I thought that would be rude. My mom always told me to be nice to people and not to point out things that grossed me out. So internally, I was screaming. About 20 minutes into the flight attendant started coming around asking what drinks people wanted and if they wanted one of those little portable TVs they have on the planes. When she asks what drink I would like, I look at her and just pointed at the lady's feet. The following conversation ensues. Ma'am, please put your feet down. That is not appropriate behavior.
Oh, sorry. I just need to keep them elevated until my Advil kicks in. You see, my back hurts sometimes when I fly and I just need to stop the pain.
Ma'am, if this is going to be an issue, you should have taken them earlier or have gotten your own row. Now please take your feet off this child.
I can't. The pain is unbearable.
Mom, from the other row, stands up and walks over. What's the problem over here? She then noticed the lady's feet. Excuse me, please get your feet off of my child. At this point, I just had frozen and not said anything because I don't like confrontation.
If he had a problem with it, then he should have said something. It's not my fault that I have so much back pain.
Honestly, probably is her fault because she was super heavy. Not that there was anything wrong with that. Her son finally chimes in from in front of us because our conversation had woken him up. Mom, just get your feet off of him. This is why we don't like flying with you. You always make a scene.
But my back hurts.
You took 4 Advils and I know for a fact that your back doesn't hurt that badly. You did this on the flight here and once you got on the plane, you magically have back pain.
But...
Mom, just stop. Nice son to me. Hey bud, do you want me to switch seats with you? I would be more than willing to give you my aisle seat. I said okay and we traded seats. My mom thanked the nice son and that was the end of it. The flight attendant gave me an extra stroopwafel because I went through that. I thank her for that because now I love stroopwafel. Once we got off of the plane and we went to get our luggage from the carousel, my mom and I saw entitled parent, nice son, and nice son's wife arguing about something, and I swear I heard nice son say something about how this was the last trip they were taking with entitled parent. I do feel bad if she was truly in pain, but if she knew it was going to happen, then she should have done something beforehand. Yeah, obviously if she's in actual pain, she should have done something beforehand and handled it properly. So overall, which of these stories that I read today are your personal favorite and why? Let me know in the comments below. But with that being said, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for watching and listening to the Storytime channel. If you haven't yet, please consider subscribing and don't forget to let me know which of these stories was your favorite of today. Thank you all again for watching and listening to the Storytime channel.